Is protesting outside the Human Rights Commission's headquarters in Johannesburg against what it calls the Commission's failure against undocumented migrants. They claim their fight is for the restoration of the township economy. For more on this story, we cross now to my colleague Mbalenhle Mthethwa. Thanks very much, Mbalenhle, for joining us. So what's happening where you are?
Good afternoon, Nompu. Yes, indeed, you are absolutely right. They will be marching rather to the offices of the Human Rights Commission in Braamfontein. Right now, we are gathered in Newtown, where a group of young people, we're not sure where they came from, but we're going to assume that they came all the way from Soweto. But we also understand that this is not the first demonstration they're having today. This is their second, and the first one started outside the union buildings, where they were also just trying to ventilate similar challenges that they will be ventilating when they hand over a memorandum of demands once they get to the offices of the Human Rights Commission. We understand, based on what we've heard so far while we're here, someone has been addressing the crowd which has gathered here, is that they're going to try and monitor and patrol the borders themselves. You'll understand that they are concerned about undocumented foreign nationals in the country, and they are saying that, you know, they are fighting rather for economic opportunities for South Africans, and they want government to at least do more in terms of tightening South Africa's borders and to protect the South African economy from being infiltrated. And now this is what they believe in, and this is what they are saying, that it's being infiltrated by undocumented foreign nationals. They've also clarified that they say that they have nothing against legal immigrants in the country, but they are concerned about the rising number of undocumented immigrants in the country and the economic opportunities and economic implications that come with that. Now, this is what they've actually been championing for a while. We understand that its leader is Mthethwa, someone who rose to prominence during the July unrest. You remember when they were protecting Mabonja Mall, and they'd also gotten some form of intelligence as to how people went about looting during the time, and how malls ended up getting looted, and also businesses in the area suffering massive losses as a result of that particular unrest. We understand that he later then joined another social movement, that is Dudula, that also claims to be fighting against undocumented immigrants in the country. And it seems as though that also got him the label of being xenophobic, and both movements being labeled as xenophobic. However, both movements have come out to say that they are not xenophobic. However, they are just concerned about the increasing number of undocumented immigrants in the country, and what seems to be the hiring of undocumented immigrants over South Africans, and the preferential treatment they seem to be getting, which is what has brought them to these streets over here. Another concern that they've raised is that the unemployment levels, particularly the youth unemployment levels in the country, is such that it could lead to an uprising. Now, you'll remember during the Arab Spring, it was led by young people who were also really just demonstrating against the lack of economic opportunities and so on. So these are the concerns that have been ventilated by this social movement that has gathered here with a group of people from the township communities calling for economic opportunities, for jobs, and also just to be prioritized, and also just for something to be done in terms of protecting the borders and so on. It's back to you in studio, Nompu.
Before you go, Mbali, given what you've just outlined, aren't their concerns misdirected then? Shouldn't they be posing these concerns to government rather than the Human Rights Commission? Where does the Human Rights Commission come in?
Okay. Certainly, Nompu, you're absolutely right, and you've raised quite a valid point there. But you'll understand that a little earlier I did say that they did go to the union buildings where they say that they claim to have handed over a memorandum of demands. Now, I can say this because I'd spoken to its leader, Mthethwa, a little earlier, who explained to us that this is the second leg of this protest today, and they are just trying to bring those issues to the fore. They've also chosen to go to the Human Rights Commission because they are concerned, and they claim that, you know, it seems to have been to prioritize undocumented immigrants in the country over South Africans, and is doing very little to ensure that undocumented immigrants are actually held accountable, and that, you know, it's failing to really observe and to meet the issues and concerns, the human rights issues concerned raised by local South Africans. It's back to you in studio, Nompu.
Thanks very much, my colleague there, Mbalenhle Mthethwa.